Welcome to my Life Seasons exhibit at the College of St. Elizabeth at the Katherine Maloney Gallery. I've always had a passion for the art, but after careers in planning and in business, I decided to make a commitment to my artwork, and I joined Turtle Studios, which is in Watertown, Massachusetts. It's a cooperative studio and it has 30 artists, and we are a real community, and I'm able to learn from other artists who are working in other medium and at different levels, and also able to share my knowledge with newer people. While at Turtle Studios, I worked with Kate Ransahoff, who's its founder, and Kate has a gift for helping people to develop their voice and discover their content of their artwork. And over time, I discovered that I have a deep interest in the cycles of life, nature, spirituality. And I focus on that aspect during this art exhibit. The genesis of the twig sculptures is that I started to make art that represented the 4 seasons. Working on spring, I noticed that spring, although people think of it in terms of, oh, there's lots of buds, but if you really look at it, it seemed to me that there really are a lot of twigs with some buds. So I had the idea to take the twigs and work with them to develop artwork. And my first intention was to have color of spring be shown in between the various twig sculptures, but then I decided that they stood best on their own. And when I was making them, I first started just to get the structure strong and have a nice result, and then as I did more of them, I became more conscious of each piece as a composition and each line as being purposely created. In preparation for this art exhibit, Life Seasons, I painted 4 paintings on the season, so 1 each for spring, summer, fall, and winter. This one is autumn, and I wanted to illustrate it because I think it represents some of what I've talked about in terms of using nature and addressing life and death issues. The painting is of a cemetery, and it sort of evolved over time as I was working on it. It started just being colorful autumn trees, and then I had the idea to make it be in a cemetery, so that when you're looking at the painting, the idea is that you're looking on a path through the cemetery. It's not a direct path to the gravestones, but it's really clear that they're there. This particular painting is the painting that I made of winter for this exhibit, and it demonstrates my feeling about winter, particularly in New England. It is a picture of a cozy scene in the front with bright, warm colors, and in the back you can see the horrific winter that is snowing and storming, and the dog is there to engage the viewer, or perhaps the owner of the property, about, well, why is it that we are living here? In addition to creating 4 paintings about the seasons, I also created fabric pieces about each of the seasons, and they incorporate the personality and events and experience of the 4 seasons. Spring is one that has the colors of spring, pastels, and some of the brighter gem colors of azaleas, and also features buds, and the buds are some are coming through and some are hidden to express that it's a season that has it's about to bloom. You know it's about to bloom, but it hasn't always bloomed. It hasn't quite bloomed yet. Some of the other pieces for winter, I incorporated ice and snow and blue colors, and also the top of it is to represent the dark storminess, and at the base I have storminess, and I have snow, translucent piles of snow. All of the fabric pieces are to the floor or to a ledge in this instance, and that is because of the profusion in nature. It's really all around you, and that sort of captures some of that essence. In the summer summer fabric piece, I created lots of different flowers, and again, they are created by combining many different colors so that they change depending on the light and the motion of the person that's observing it. And for fall, I created the fall colors and made the poofs to represent the trees, of course in an abstract way. They're all abstracted. I love summer, and it shows in that I have about 8 paintings with summer in the title. Summer Fun, Buttercups, Summer in the City, The Amaryllis, Summer Garden. This particular painting is Summer Fun, and it's 2 kids having a joyous time in the water. One note is that when I paint, sometimes I leave the paintings up for a long time and I notice different things that I may want to adjust. Well, one of my main influences in my painting has been Hans Hofmann, and I have done some paintings that I've started looking at Hofmann's paintings and trying to get the general sense of colors and space, and then midway turn them into my own painting. So I've done that with Summer in the City, and with The Amaryllis. The Amaryllis started out as Hofmann's Jardin d'Amour, and again at one point then I turned it around and changed it quite a bit, but turned it into my Amaryllis painting. This painting is called The Battle of Good and Evil, and I started it in response to 9/11 and the Iraq War. And as usual, I chose natural elements to express the battle. So there's a big blue wave, or storm, which represents good, and the dark wave represents evil. And they're fighting, and each might be crushing over the other, but it's not really clear which might win. Although I expect that the good will win. So this painting is called Hope in the Heavens. And it was made in the same time period as Battle of Good and Evil, and it is reflecting the earth and all the trauma and explosions and disasters and suffering that we have on the earth, and putting it in a more spiritual context by including it in the heavens with the moon as a symbol of hope and a symbol of spirituality. The painting Our Path is a good illustration of my use of natural materials to address the cycles of life. When someone first observes the painting, they may notice the profusion of flowers, and on a longer view may notice that the grass up near the top of the painting is sparse, and some of the flowers are in full bloom, but others are browning and decaying. At the top of the painting is a gravestone. So my intention is that when people look at the painting, they first notice the flowers, and then they notice the gravestone, and they realize that it's about death and life. Underneath Our Path painting, I placed a leaf path, and the leaves were collected over the last year and are preserved, but chosen for their color, and they are laid out so that in the start the colors are bright and colorful, full, and then towards the end they get a little more dark, and at the very end they are decayed, again to represent life cycles. Thank you for taking the time to enjoy a tour of my art exhibit with me. If you have any further questions or comments about my artwork, please visit my website at www.katherinemaloney.com. There you can email me about any interest in art or me making any particular artwork for you. Again, thank you.